And I appreciate what you're saying.
Thank you.
And for me, I'm gonna be real. My situation, again, first of all, I gotta say I'm blessed with my situation and my outcome because I appreciate what you're saying. And the fucked up thing about that is that's the norm of what's going on.
Thank you.
But in my situation, I can relate to where you're coming from, but me in my personal situation, I didn't end up with that. Case in point, you met my niece. And you know my niece. And what happened was their mother bounced. Sister from another mister is what I call her. And to this day, I love her. I will catch a bullet for her. But the trials and tribulations of being a mother got to her and she bounced. And my brother didn't do a very good job as far as to being there for the kids. Monetarily,
Okay.
he was there.
There's a difference.
Fathertarily, he wasn't there. So my sister and myself, we were more mother and father to them kids. To this day, my niece, my oldest niece, or my second oldest niece were like, yeah, that's my second father. Uncle Ricky's my second father. And that's how I cut my teeth as far as to what I need to do to raise my own children. And my own personal experience of not having a father, I'm like, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that whatever happens with the mother, I will be a part of my child's future. Now, my wife, because me and JK, we go back like wave and wave caps. That's how far back we go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure do.
Comparison right there.
We kickball tournament and everything and Mary Curly, you know what I'm saying? So that's my brother from another mother. But my wife, I was real cool with her brother, rest in peace, Jason Mitchell. And I made the awkward phone call, hey, you wanna go out and boom, 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 boom. We open up a dialogue or whatever. Relationships happens or whatever. She ends up pregnant. Damn, Slick, you forcing it, yo. She's pregnant. You're forcing it. So we've been through our trials and tribulations, and I can openly, honestly admit that I've done some bullshit or whatever because of my situations in the past. But when we found out she was pregnant, the first thing was like, okay, you make it past the 3-month part, I'll be excited because I've been down that road before, and unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But when we made it past that, oh, this is official. The one thing that before then she was my baby mother before she became my wife, because I opened up to her and I told her about my background, about my father not being there, whatever. She said, yo, whatever happens between us, I will make sure that you will be a part of your kid's life.
I love that.
And
It's a gem right there.
she owned up to that. You know what I'm saying? I had my kid. We worked it out. I had him every other weekend because she wanted to spend time with him as well. We came up with child support, voluntary.
Oh, that's good.
I can pay this. Okay, boom. I'll take that.
$1,000.
As long as you spend time with your son, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
And the one thing she said was like, I will never deny you access to your son.
Oh, yes.
Which is probably one of the reasons why I married her. And there's other reasons that go along with that. And there's certain situations I'm like, you know, she's a pain in my ass.
Of course.
She gets on my nerves.
Exactly.
And on the flip side, I'm quite sure she'll say the same thing about me. This nigga's a pain in my ass. What did I get myself involved with? This Trini motherfucker's getting on my
Over
nerves.
here, she will be saying that, yeah.
But we were blessed with having a second son. And I'm always grateful to her with this, is that she allowed me with the big boys night with my firstborn. We had those big boys night. He'd come over and spend time with his pops. Pops will doze off. Hey, when you're ready to turn off the PlayStation, I'm going to sleep or whatever. she allowed me to have that time with my son.
Yes.
My second son, I call him my second shadow because she allowed me to have that time with them. And for that, I am always grateful because we came to a understanding as far as to whatever happens between us shouldn't affect what happens with this child. Because he didn't ask to be here, but he's here. So what are we going to do to uplift him? And now, me having a proud dad moment. My son is in, my oldest is in Suffolk University. And he, before that, was killing it in high school. His brother is following in his footsteps because I'm able to, and what you said as well, my philosophy with raising my kids was, I want you to be a better person than me.
Yes.
So
yes.
here is what I want you to do, because at the same time, I did some shit where I thought I was the end all and be all, and I was wrong. And I don't want you to go through the trials and tribulations that I went through. And you nailed it. And that's my philosophy with my boys. I want you to be a better person than me.
Absolutely.
If you end up being a better person than me,
Your job is done.
my job is done. And I did what I was supposed to do.
In this world.
And the way they are coming up right now, I'm so proud of my
We
boys.
need more of these children. We need more of these children. I wish
Great dads
parents
matter,
would
great
stop
parents
saying
matter,
that they're
great
trying
homes matter.
They're breaking down these kids and they're pushing
Great-
them out.
great
And
dads
we have to
matter.
deal with it.
And I was trying to start up a father's program way back in the day.
Try again.
But again,
Please try again.
and that's something I might do on the side with my cousin Kesney. I'm saying I'm gonna give shout outs where I need to give shout outs because he's in a similar situation with me. And we've always talked about starting a father's program, a young father's program. And I was doing it with Martha Elliott, where I had to build this program from the ground up. Shout out to my boy George Martinez, where we had to build this from the grounds up. But my goal is, and I'm happy with where my boys are, and it's always, and I tell them straight up, I'm like, yo, the reason why I'm on you because of your book learning, or the reason why I'm on you because of A, B, and C. My goal is to make you a better person than me. And I'm humble enough to recognize my shortcomings and my failings. And I don't want to see you to go through the bullshit that I went through. Which is why I'm always on top of them. And I am blessed because their mother is involved in that. Their mother buys into that. And in all honesty, my wife is my fucking rock. John will tell you. John will tell you but that's his sister from another mister though. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a close knit crew. And as much as I bitch, whine, and complain, fuck all that. She's the best thing that happened to me because
I love it. Love to see it.
and with me and my growth and me and my maturity, I need to let her know that more with what I'm working on. But she recognized the issues that I had with my father and my father not being there, and was like, yo, whatever goes down between us, I'm gonna make sure you are a part of his life.
She valued how important he was.
And she knew how important that was. And
I
for
love
that, I'm forever grateful. And because of that, I can sit back and see how this dude, 19 years before Ricky Jr., has turned out. I can sit back and take pride with how dope of a big brother he is to his younger brother, because them dudes are thick as thieves. When he was going to go to Suffolk University, his brother was mad, depressed, like, well, he's not going to be here no more, and blah, 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 blah. But as a father, I can step back and take pride in that as far as the relationship they have and the nurturing relationship they have versus the relationship I have with me and mine, which is not where it should be, but I take pride in that because my wife was involved with that, and she recognized that, hey, listen, as dope as I am as a mother, they also need that from their father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that, and at the same time, with me being grateful, I recognize the struggle that the brothers that are trying to do what they need to do are going through.
Yes, they do.
And I support them with that, because it's like, yo, it shouldn't be about whether or not me and you got along, whatever. This little nigga didn't ask to be here, but he's here. So we need to put this shit aside to make sure he's straight. But unfortunately, heads aren't like-minded
They're
like
not.
that.
Their best interest is not at value. It's not. It's
And
always
it's fucked up.
monetary. I need that money. And
it's
then most of the
fucked up.
time, you don't get time. You pay for your child, and you don't see your child. Can we fix the
Or very
government, please?
temporarily.
Well, I see it like this, and I know a lot of people won't agree with this, but again, when it comes to that whole thing, especially when it comes to child support, in most cases, I feel like the government should not be involved.
They shouldn't be.
No.
They
Like,
should
I don't-
not be.
Like my thing is, but the thing is, it sucks that they are, and there's reasons behind it. But
They get a piece.
right, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
of
it is.
course they do.
Yeah, you're showing up
Of
there.
course they do.
Yeah,
Of course they do.
there's stocks involved. There's a lot of shit involved in the whole child support. Again, there was a guy. I think I told you guys like last week. There was a guy that was backed up in child support.
Wow.
He paid it. The problem was the person that actually had needed child support didn't get it. Where did it go? Went to the government.
I know. We went into
Like,
that Congress
Really?
money.
Yeah.
Went to their
An
pocket.
earthquake.
Yeah.
Earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
He was paying more than what was
was owed.
was due.
Right.
And he did that because of the philosophy of, okay, at any point in time, I could be jobless because of him being a comedian.
That makes sense.
Yes, yes.
But he was paying more, and they try to penalize him over that.
Mm-hmm.
We're paying more?
For paying
Yeah.
more than what he was supposed to for child support.
Why?
There's people.
Because of how the system is set
Yeah.
up.
There's people.
Yeah, they said-
There's
they said-
What they gonna
people.
do with the extra money?
Right. There's people that actually. There's people that. There's people,
I'm not getting my cut of
Right.
you paying what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be paying, because we had this proactive or contracted where
Money
when he's 20, but before he gets 20, I'm supposed to be getting this amount. If you're paying that off early,
he's disrupting.
I can't
the
pay
whole
off that extra wing I'm trying to pay on my house.
Oh.
Or I can't get that new SL Mercedes, whatever the fuck, because you're paying this off earlier than what we planned.
Oh, okay.
yeah. There's people that overpaid in child support and they went to jail.
And they get in trouble for that
Yeah.
shit.
My brother actually, he just got through finish paying child support. He was caught up. What they do is they send him a bill talking about he owed this money. If not, they'll threaten him to shut off his license. They'll
Must
threaten
keep
him.
receipts.
Oh, the license.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you can't work because you don't have a car.
And yeah, you
Yep.
Tell
can't-
my
yeah.
cousin,
Yep.
keep those receipts.
Yeah,
The
he
receipts.
does. But it's
And I
bad.
mean, I
It's
didn't
bad.
keep
Like
receipts.
there was a case where this guy owed over $4,000 in child support. So what he did was he made sure he still had to pay it. He paid $6,000. A week after he paid this, the police came to his door and arrested him
Wow.
and say that he overpaid in child support.
It's time for a
And
lawyer.
it's like, yo,
That
like
doesn't
really?
even make
Time
any
for a
sense,
lawyer.
though.
Not,
It's like,
but to you it does it.
Still, though,
Well, yeah,
the
to them, they don't
lawyer,
have kids
Right.
either.
Even
so-
though,
the
like,
lawyers,
you have
like,
the
more-
lawyers,
government
but the
official
lawyer's
out there.
gonna be like, but this is what we have on the book, so
Yeah.
You have
you
more
didn't follow
lawyers
what was
now
on
that
the
are
book.
father friendly.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
because it's-
2020, you fathers are getting
Okay.
more lawyers that are popping out more. I've been seeing it, and they are disgusted with what is going on. This country, you have to understand, where is this money? Back into the politicians.
Yeah.
They're living off of us. You see
Yeah.
how they can do the dirty?
Why do you think politicians never talk about it at all? You've never heard Barack Obama talk about, oh, I think child support should be reduced.
Even Trump.
Or anything to say, well, you don't bring up the conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Nothing was brought up,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Because
because,
that's how they live.
yep,
They need that.
And one of the things too that when I was trying to start this fathers program back in the early 2000s,
It loves me. It loves me.
one of the things I did
Oh, yeah, that's another
training was for the checks program that was done over at BMC, the high rises.
Okay.
They had the community health and education program or whatever. One of the biggest things as far as with child support was that the fathers were not educated on what their rights were.
They are still
That's
not.
number
That's a
one.
major
They are
loophole
still
for them.
not, though.
There you go.
And
You don't
num-
know? Take his money.
And number two,
Basically.
the same with hip hop and music and all of that is word of mouth.
Yes.
When fathers hear that this man got to pay 10 G's for child support, they don't know what his circumstances are. He's paying 10 G's in back child support because he's a doctor that is making $200K a year, but it's not paying child support. And when it goes to the legal system, you owe that shit. One of the things that I was taught back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then was, if you are able to present your case to a judge like, yo, I'm only making this much, I need to eat. The judge is supposed to work with you as far as okay. That's what I'm saying. No. That's what's supposed to happen. I'm not saying that it does happen because it depends on the judge you get. Because I know one of my homies, he's going through it as well, where he's a fucking vet.
Oh, wow.
And they're garnishing his shit. And one of his kids, he's not even allowed visitation rights. And he wants to have visitation rights.
This is what I'm talking
but they're
about.
like, nah, we're going to garnish your wage because you're not paying
They won't even
this.
help. They won't
And
help
he's
them.
like, what about I want to see my kid. Well,
No,
the mom wants
just
to
pay
see
for
the
that
kid.
child and live your life.
Yeah.
That's
Know what
it.
I'm
You don't
saying?
get to see them. You have no say in their life. Just
saying?
pay. I don't like that.
Yep, a guy I know, basically, he actually got deployed to Afghanistan. Used to work with him at this other place I was at back in, he got deployed. He actually was paying child support. He claimed, he said he was like on top of it. He basically got deployed, and when he came back, they basically put a warrant out for his arrest for failure to pay child support.
After you get the
Yeah, after you
After
served,
you motherfuckers.
After you served your country and shed blood for the country.
Dog, come back with no leg and I gotta come back
Yeah,
to this shit.
so-
Come back to a debt.
Yo, this is why I was about to say. This is why people go to jail.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
so right.
Don't
So
piss me off.
he was trying to. He said he could not believe it. He said that, matter of fact, he acted. The state basically took his house.
Oh.
They took his house and they basically garnished his wages. They said it was like at least 30 G's he owed, and they said he does not understand. And he's like, no, that's the
And
thing.
I don't make light of it, but you wonder
shit.
why people go crazy and blow up buildings.
Yeah.
It sounds, funny, and we all know that's not funny, but you wonder why people go ape shit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, y'all niggas took my house, y'all taking all my money, and it doesn't matter. I
Yep.
still can't see my kid, or
Yep,
really
they'll
can.
put a
and
lien
that's-
on your house and
Nah,
they'll be
bro,
like,
nah.
yeah.
Again,
With no kid.
Again, like DJ Quick said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't paying them dollars. It don't matter if it makes sense or not. I'm gonna get these dollars
Yeah.
from your ass.
The guy was like, just deployed in Iraq, like.
Yeah,
you know,
search this country. Where
Yeah.
is that?
And again, like you
What
gotta
is-
understand, the government, you gotta understand how child support works. The government, basically, like I said, I found this out recently, and I've been on child support for like almost 4 years. There's a company that basically is ran by child support, like it's literally funded by child support. It's a stock company slash.
Are they in
It's
Russia?
an investment.
Because we need to talk about
It's
that.
in the
one, too.
U.S. It's in the, I forget what it's called. I found out by watching that documentary about Gabriel Hernandez. You
Oh
watch
my
that
God.
and it explains to you how.
Maximus.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. You explain it and it shows you. It's literally funded by child support.
And we gotta post that link in the
Yeah.
mean so heads can
So
Yeah.
follow up
Right.
on
Yeah,
that
their own, yeah.
So
and see what he's
Right.
talking
So
about.
anytime when somebody supposedly owes child support, honestly, I guarantee you, they said about 60% of people who actually owe child support, they really don't. He said what they do
You
is,
told me it goes into
Yeah.
human trafficking
Yes,
too. Let's talk
that's
about that
another-
one too.
right.
Lord have mercy.
oh
Can
my
we talk
God,
about missing
it's
people?
everything. Like it
For
goes,
how many years? And we don't make a big
right.
deal about that?
Child support is again one of those things where, like I said, it has to do with sex trafficking, has to do with human trafficking. Period.
We have big
It's-
businesses
I'm
that
telling
will
you.
put millions of dollars on a
You know
person.
Xavier's father, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I remember the story's a little bit funny, but he ran me, him, and Naomi. We hadn't really spoken to each other. He runs to Naomi in the supermarket, and she's like, "Hi, Jeremy." He's like, "You tell Jennifer she put me on child support. I ain't paying shit." He just went ape shit. Me and Naomi ended up laughing about it. But when I talked to her about it, I'm like, "Look, all the years that I had all the kids, I'll go into detail for the rest of you later. But all those, you're welcome. All the years that I had the kids, I never seen any child support. I got like $44 for Xavier, like between 1 and 3 times.
Okay.
So where is this money that he claims that he lost because he was working that I never received?
So think about it. That's
You
what
know,
I said.
like no, and that's why
Tell
that's
her
why
to
I
go
brought it
complain to
up.
the politician that stole his money.
I still
because
couldn't
that's
believe
where it
that. I'm
is.
sorry, by the meat department. You tell her. And stop me up. And she's like, I haven't spoken to her for like a year.
Wow.
I don't care.
So
But
you yelling by the stage.
yo, but it made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Like I
but see,
said,
his ignorance.
based off
If
what
you
you're
tell him
saying.
the truth, he'll still be ignorant and not listen, because that's the thing about
'Cause
black
he's an
folks
idiot.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Black folks are being so ignorant. Why are black folks being ignorant? Why are black folks not reading? Read,
No.
read,
Again,
read.
you gotta understand.
But like
They're taught to just make their money and keep it moving. They're not
Black
taught.
folks are
You're
taught
right.
to look at things,
Yes.
look at rappers for news,
But again-
rappers for insight.
That brings
It's
it back
celebrity.
to
What are
when I was trying to start that father's program. Is
Please
that
do though.
we are not educated enough
We are not.
on the laws of the land.
Yeah.
And
Right.
because
You
of
cannot pay
that,
child support unless you get to see that child. That
Right.
is your right.
or even
I know
basically
that
still your name being on the birth certificate, something as simple as that. And the fact of the matter is that because of that lack of education and that ignorance and the freaking hood tales,
Oh,
a
yes.
man's paying this, that, and the other. But do you know why he has to pay that? Because he was paying it before. The fucked up thing is that the government is prosperous because of that lack of education.
Yeah.
Now, if we can educate ourselves or even tap into programs that are helping us with that education, we can flip the script and use their own laws against them. But unfortunately, there are not enough resources out there for us to educate ourselves on what the laws is, on what the do's and don'ts are. So that's how heads are able to get over. You know what I'm saying? And that in on itself is like,
But you also have some
bigger
ignorant
issue.
black people too that just don't want to hear change.
Yeah,
They
true.
want it to stay the same. It's hard. It's hard.
but
It's
that's
like
what we gotta. That's what we gotta-
demographically, how do you help ones that do not want the system to change? They actually want it to stay.
We are, as ourselves, instead of always trying to blame it on the white man,
We
because
should
a lot
not.
of the times
We
the
should not.
white man is not culpable of
The white man
our
is not
situation.
excusing us for a black on black crime. Where's the white man in that?
We need to get our asses off our shoulders and
Put it in there for
and
us.
take advantage of what's out there, because the information is out there.
always.
But
They
at the
only
same
influence.
time,
They only
we
influence.
shouldn't
with the news.
have to dig and search and try to find that information. We need to educate ourselves. Once we've educated ourselves, we need to share
How about we get them
that
to go to
education
college
to
though?
others that
Each
don't
one
know
teach
that.
one.
We need to share that, just like Pac said. One nigga teach two nigga, teach three nigga, teach more niggas. That's what we need to do, but we are not doing that.